And hello, everybody. Welcome to Rick Snider's Washington on YouTube, where you get the whole story. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, and hit the thanks button, which is that dollar sign below the screen. Give me 1 minute, turn on the light. I forgot. Okay, back in my big studio where you can see me better. It's Steve. Thanks for coming already. First man up. There's some others. Thank you all for coming. And hey, everybody should be happy. Team won. Everybody was there. It was a good time had by all. And a little rain fell, but other than that, so I'll let everybody catch up here real quick. News today out of Ron Rivera's press conference. Hi, Marvin. Thanks for coming. Sorry, Michael. I know I was a little late. So I just finished doing 2 podcasts and 2 videos. So sorry. Mostly have my voice back. I've been sick lately, but I sound worse than I look. Hopefully, hopefully I don't look as bad as I sound. So anyway, Rivera had his presser. It was pretty much a snooze fest. Asked about Chase Young, got no answer about that. I think something's afoot on that. And as far as the returners, they're going to play it game by game to see what goes on. So for right now, Jameson Crowder remains the punt returner. Didn't really get to do much, but then again, dude just showed up again. So he didn't screw it up, and that was really all you needed. So that was the only news. Really wasn't much out there. Hi, Antoinette. No, I eat in the press box, so I didn't try anybody else's food. So I had to pay money for that. And so anyway, so it's not much. Chase, I think it's kind of amazing. He said, well, the doctor said he could play, but now we want to see how he's going to do with contact. So it might be a couple weeks. What? Can't watch Wednesday's practice hitting somebody and tell me, yay or nay? This whole thing with Chase, my gut tells me next year that Chase won't be here. That the other side is just not worth the money. We'll see what happens. And there's a lot. It's a lot to this story, I think, behind the scenes. And I think Sweat will be the guy that resigns. And Sweat, has always been a baller. I have a video up now on Rick Snider's Washington on YouTube and also on Twitter and everywhere I go. Where I say, Montez was talking after the game about how he's yelling at everybody who wants to be the closer, who's going to be the closer, meaning who's going to knock these guys out, make a big play. And Montez had a sack and a half and 5 tackles. But, the whole D-line took turns. I mean, John Allen made a huge sack, and Deron Payne made a couple consecutive plays that were great. I mean, that line played well. And I kind of wonder at times, it's really an interesting thing. I thought the secondary played really great. I thought Cameron Curl looked like he was an all-pro out there. Led the team in 10 tackles, I believe. 9. No, 10. Sorry. And I also thought Derek Forrest, I thought played terrific too. I mean, this young secondary did well. Emmanuel Forbes made a play on there. So you wonder, a good line makes for a good secondary, but a good secondary makes for a good line. I think Jamin Davis even had a pretty good game in the middle. So, this defense really didn't give a lot of points up. Just 9 on their own because, Howell had to throw a ball into the fumble ball away for a touchdown. So, I mean, it was pretty much the defensive effort we expected overall. I mean, you're not going to be great for 60 minutes, but they were very good. So it wasn't bad at all. Questions. Marvin, do you think we're ready to compete with playoff teams? No, we're not off that game. Can't remember. Arizona was considered the worst team in the league. Had a dirty thug defense at times. One drive, they had 2 late hits, a pass interference. I mean, it was ridiculous. That sideline hit, I laughed. Sam Howell said after the game, that guy really nailed him good. He says, but it didn't hurt. Whew, glad it was you instead of me because I think it would have hurt me. Man, that was one of those, the whole stadium went, ooh, because you knew he got hit at 100 miles an hour. So, but they're not, not ready for prime time. Denver will be a good one to see. Denver's favored by 3.5. I'm surprised by that. And if you really want to know where they stand, let's wait 2 weeks from now. They'll play Buffalo and then they play Philadelphia. Those 2 weeks will tell us a lot. Mike, what serious concerns about the O line blocking on that? Well, nothing's changed off earlier expectations. And okay, they did give up 6 sacks. I think a couple of those were on Sam, and Sam held the ball too long trying to be perfect. And that's not good with this line. So I wouldn't, I'd say the line I thought did okay pass blocking. It was the run blocking I didn't see anything out of them. That's got to get much better. Joel says, looks like a bright future. Well, I'm doing the best I can. No, but yes, things are on the way up. Mark said, it looked like Sam had a concussion. Well, nobody pulled him in for that, and they look at it. They have people, NFL spotters, looking at that from above to see if the on-field guys can't tell. They'll get a call down from the guys above saying, "Hey, so and so's looking weird. Go check them out." Nobody did that. So I saw Sam after the game. He talked fine, so I don't think that happened on there. Mr. Cool, satisfied with this win? Listen, in the NFL, you win in advance. There's no style points as long as you escaped a loss, because listen, it gets to go to 16-10. It now starts pouring rain. And I figure, oh, screwed here. It's the bad weather conditions going to really make this hard. But they gutted it out. That's what matters. Now, let me talk about the game day for a few minutes here. Best game day, at least since 2012 playoffs, which ended with RG3 getting hurt. Before that, maybe the 97 opener when they opened the stadium, but it felt like an RFK crowd. And like an hour out from the game, usually there's not a lot of people in the stadium. There's still a tailgate. Hour before the game, the concourse is packed, and it's like 40 deep in line. Checked with the local traffic people here at WTOP, and it was a solid Beltway interlude backup for 8 miles to get to the stadium. So everybody was there. Washington is an events town more than even a sports town. And this was an event. First game without Danny, and everybody wanted to be there. People wanted to come back. Rigo came, Champ, RG3, Clinton Portis, Daryl Green, Charles Mann. I mean, the legends all came back and they wanted to come back. Sonny, I saw Sonny. And I know people talk about Sonny couldn't fly commercially and all that. It said he can't do a lot of walking, I guess. But I spent a few minutes with Sonny, and he was doing very well. I was surprised. He's 89 now, but I thought Sonny looked good. So don't worry about Sonny right now. So the crowd of 64,000, and it was legit. I mean, the upper deck had a lot of people in it. You might have seen that nice fight that was going on. The clips of that on the internet. But it was a legit number, 64,000. It was true. The first sellout they've had in 10 years. And the first local inspired sellout, probably since the earliest days. And, they had, I saw a couple Arizona fans, but that was about it. Really wasn't many, And this team knew that. This team went to the NFL and said, please give us the Arizona game first. We could win it, and we'll have all our own fans there. This is what we need. So the NFL said, okay, you got to play them eventually. Sure, take this one. So Steve said he saw Kilmer sit with Sonny. Yeah. Billy was there, and then Jim Hart was there. They picked him up on the plane too, and I was like, Jim Hart, he was the Cardinals quarterback. I'd forgotten he played his last year in 1974 as a Redskins backup. He only threw 7 passes. Okay. Kevin Durant was there, right, Marvin? You might have seen a picture of Kevin Durant and Magic Johnson with Josh Harris between them, and he looks like he's about 2 feet tall compared to these guys. And Josh Harris is not a small man. It's just, I don't know, what's Magic? 6'7"? Durant's like 6'9" or something. These guys are huge. I felt bad for Harris, man. He looks like the little willow tree versus the two mighty oaks next to him. That was pretty wild. Michael said he bets Kevin Durant sorry he turned the Wizards down. I don't think so. But, maybe he finishes his last year of his career or something here. Kind of like Tom McMillan did that. Duran says, believe this defense will be amazing all year, but the O-line got to get better. That's been day one. Day one, we've talked about the O-line's got to get better. Tight end's got to be better. Wasn't real happy with Logan Thomas's play. Dropped some balls. Bates I don't know if that Bates penalty should have been called after all. Looking at the home replay, I think maybe it was a bad call. Ref even got knocked out of the game there at one point. Marvin said he watched the game from home. FedEx was loud, screaming. Yeah, I heard you could hear it on your TV, which normally you can't. All right, so Magic 6'9". So what's Kevin Durant? I think he's even taller on there, if I remember. And the legends were out. The people came and saw them, and I mean everybody had a hell of a good time. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it rained hard for about 10 minutes, so you might have gotten a little wet, but they all stayed to the very end. Very end. Nobody left early. That was amazing. Uh, Joe Kokoto, I've spoken to the new owner just in a group. I haven't had a chance to talk to him individually. Quite frankly, at this point, I don't need to because he's addressed all he's going to address publicly, and there isn't anything inside to talk about yet. Could the offense use a short passing checkdowns and all? Yeah, Hank. I mean, to me, quit holding the ball so much. You got to quick strike, quick strike, quick strike. That with this offensive line, that's what I would do. Now Sam's got a better arm to throw deep and need him a little more time, but if you got a guy on you, that doesn't help any. One thing too, those of you who remember the welcome home luncheon, I think it was a touchdown club or somebody threw it. It was the first one in the NFL. They always had it before the first game. All the players came, a lot of fans came. It was a big deal for a long time, especially the Super Bowl era. It'd be over 1,000 people at that thing. And of course, COVID shut it down a few years ago. And I was looking to see if it was coming back this year, and no, the team decided that they didn't want to support a luncheon like that anymore. They wanted more of a free open air thing, and they had a big rally downtown at one of the parks. So I guess rest in peace, welcome home luncheon. And it was kind of a fun affair at times, but I think it outlived itself. So that's why we're not seeing that anymore. All right, Joel says the O line's got to be better. Yeah, I'm not sure how. Somebody's saying, can't they trade for someone? I said, well, you can always trade for someone, but here's the question: who are you going to replace? You just signed this free agent right tackle from Kansas City. You're not replacing him. Gates, I think, has been a decent baller at center. Cosby's been okay at guard. Sadiq Charles, I had no problems with yesterday. You going to go with Charles Leno? I mean, but you're not going to get a stud left tackle. No one's giving you that. I don't care who you trade. So I don't think there's any help coming there. You just got to hope chemistry maybe can help that some. And Sam learned to get the ball out quicker. What did I think of Eric's play calling? Asked Marvin. I was a little cold by it, but I might be wrong on that. I need to watch the. I was trying to scan through it today to figure out balance and some different things. For instance, I have my own. We have to get these big pieces of paper that tell us all about the game. Same stuff you see on ESPN box charts, really. I just like holding them, old school. They had 20 carries and 31 passes, so you can't complain about the the balance at least. It just seemed at times they would be one or the other. They'd be passing for a bit or running for a bit. Brian Robinson, 19 for 59, 3.1. That's where I think they had problems. It wasn't so much the pass blocking. I think it's the run blocking wasn't very good. Didn't have many places to go. Chris Rodriguez was in there early, went 3 for 7 yards. I mean, they only averaged 3.3 a carry. Sam averaged, let's see, 202 yards on 31 passes. So that's a little under seven. His pass rating was 77.6. I mean, really, Sam's line here 19 of 31, 202, one touchdown, one interception, 77.6. That's going to be kind of a common number for him, I think, in a way. Anyone remember when Washington used to practice in Carlisle? Yeah, Chris, I was there for a number of them. They used to practice there for 8 weeks back when they played 6 preseason games. That predates me. Uh, I used to do 6 weeks in Frostburg. I think we only did like 3 weeks or something in Carlisle um, the second time around. First time around, I went to a few years of it, but I don't remember it as well. Is Chase going to be traded? Joel asked. Good question. And I would say there's a chance, especially if a team doesn't think it's going to re-sign him and they get any kind of an offer. And if he's healthy, he's got that stinger on his neck. And I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk, say things about people, physically because I don't know the pain they're in. And a stinger on your neck, you worry about neck injuries can lead to something serious, not like an arm or something. If you mess up your neck, that's your spine. I just finished 6 weeks of physical therapy on mine. I can tell you, you don't want a piece of that. We don't want anybody getting seriously hurt. So I can't sit here and go, Chase, come on, because what do we know? So I think that's a little presumptive on that. We'll see. How do I feel about Ron challenging the first down? That's when they lost, right? Ron, and it was a crazy explanation by the official about they couldn't see something. That was one of the things I didn't quite understand what was going on. Time to use some high draft picks on the offensive lines to sound and vision. Well, let's see what they draft next year. But if I know they've had some ideas of doing it, but they've drafted too high, too low in the first round. They were saying, these 13, 17s and all, they couldn't get the guys they wanted. Am I going to the Nats game with a Commander celebration on the 21st? James asked. Probably not. Um, Busy. I like Nats games. I try to watch them some, but I don't think I can get to that one. If I had Litos as pepperoni jalapeno, asked McBruno. No. I like pepperoni. I don't like jalapeno. I did a story on Litos for Eater DC, which is a big foodie group. And I talked to the original owner's son because the original owner's passed away. And I said, why are your pepperonis so thick? He goes, takes less time to cut thicker ones than thinner ones. And that's why we made them thick. As simple as that. As a matter of fact, here's a Lido trivia thing for you. Lido, big pizza chain around here for us in Maryland, especially. Is why they named it Lido, because that's not their name. And he said that the father, who was the original owner of it with another person, was fighting in World War II, and his plane was diverted in Italy to some small airfield. They were having problems and almost crashed, that kind of thing. And then they landed on the airfield, and they were like, "Oh God, where are we?" And they were on some place. The street was called Lido, Lado. So they named their pizza chain after that. And you pay by the letter for signs, and they thought 4 letters. That's great. It's crazy stuff like that happens. I enjoyed writing for them, but things change with don't have an opportunity to anymore. But I liked writing about food. It was a lot of fun. All right, Hank. Will Gibson's role be reduced? Probably not. Ron talked a little bit about it today. Tried to blow it off, and you know, Gibson did only had one fumble last year, so I know the year before he did poorly. So, and that was a real ball buster, fumbling again the other day. Yes, but I don't think not yet. Do it again. We'll see. What do they say? Blank around long enough and see what happens. How did I like the crowd yesterday? I haven't been a game like that ever, to be honest, says Annoyed Ostrich. Yeah, that was the best game day crowd of local fans of this team, not like the Steelers or Bills Mafia coming or whatever. Uh, Probably since they've been there. So, RFK days, and it was great to see. It's great. This is why I came back. I was going to retire last year, and I just. But then Dan Snider said he was going to leave, and I thought, well, I got to see some of the good times before I go. So that's why I'm still doing this. For how much longer? I don't know, but we'll see. Season fun times like this. Why would I want to miss this? Steve, thank you so much for chipping in. I haven't had a chance to, most people come and watch the show for 10, 15 minutes. So let me just say the thanks button, which is the dollar sign down, like right over here somewhere, um, help support it. You're getting insider stuff from the guys inside the locker rooms. And I've been doing this 45 years, about 30 plus, with this team. You don't get this kind of stuff elsewhere. So it'd be nice to help support. They take $2, $5, $10, and if people would pay it, I'd appreciate it. That way, I don't have to sound like a whore. If you don't want to give up any money, can you at least hit that thumbs up button because the algorithm likes when that happens. Honest Brute, thank you so much. See, $1.99, I'm okay with that. It helps pay the rent. So the media life is not as lucrative as you people think it is. Bob's here. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you coming in. Why were they wearing road uniforms at home? Well, you get to pick what you want, and they only did white on white. They're only doing it twice this year, if I remember. Didn't like the look. The only good part, I get the numbers really clearly. Hank, if Washington wins on Sunday and comes back home to play the Bills, will our fans outnumber their fans? Hank, that's a good question. That might be a 50-50, but think of it this way. Last year, it'd have been a 90-10 Bills Mafia thing. This might be more of a 50-50 or maybe a little more Washington fans. So bring your table to the tailgating area and see if they smash it. I got to the stadium 3 hours before the game. It's a little earlier than usual for me, but I want to make sure I beat traffic. And the red lot, which is the tailgating lot, man, it was cranking 3 hours ahead. I mean, people came. If Washington wins on Sunday, oh God, I'm sorry, I got the Hank right there. Sound Division, thank you so much for chipping in. I do appreciate it. It's help support what I do. I mean, I'm giving my time up. Trust me. By Monday night, I've done like 36 hours of football. You're the end of it. And I finally just got my voice back from being sick. I could barely speak last week, as you might have seen from some of my videos, and I didn't do last week's show because I wasn't well. But I'm okay now. It's just one of viral things. Let's see. Bob doesn't like the look either. Yeah, I just thought white and white. I'm not a uniform guy anyway, but I just only Buffalo would combine Buffalo Bill and the Mafia, says Michael. Okay, that was funny. Um, did I get a chance to talk to Sonny? Yes, I did, Bob. It's probably been 5 minutes. I didn't want to take too much time. I've known Sonny well for many years. I've often had the perk of this job covering the team as I get to know people that I watched growing up. And Sonny's a great guy. So I enjoyed that. Rigo I didn't talk to. Rigo, I first approached, I think I was 23. I was covering that first year, and Rigo was like, "Bah, go away." He didn't have time for young. He doesn't remember me, I think, because I had a whole lot of hair back then. I don't look the same. He kind of looks the same. He's just gray. Big. I'd have settled for gray, but I didn't get that one. Let's see. Bob said, "Oh, okay." And Sonny's health looked good. I know everybody comes and goes in this thing. Average person listens to 10, 15 minutes. So I sometimes feel like I'm going around and around. But Sonny, I thought did very well. Better than I would have guessed. You read these things about, Sonny's, health is this and this. And it's not easy getting through an airport. I used to fly with Sonny, to games before Dan Snider put him on the plane. And gosh, there were times I felt like Sonny's valet, because, I'd be with Sonny. So many people will come up to Sonny, and Sonny and I used to eat lunch together every day at Frostburg summer camps for 5 years. And so I kind of had to become protective of them and keep all the people away because it would never end. And we would never matter where we were in other airports, people would. It's like, someone, we got to get going, and sometimes I drive the car, depending, once Frank was no longer doing the games. So Sonny had to kind of get to the place himself for a little while, a few years. So I used to drive, and we used to stay at the team hotel too, the media, until Dan Snider came along and threw us all out. Fine with me. Hank, did I get to talk to any of the alumni? Just Sonny, because I knew most of the guys, and I don't care. This isn't quite the buddy thing most of the time. When you cover players, I like them, we get along, but they don't come to my house for dinner, and nor do they invite me to theirs. It's a separation. So I wish them well. I would like to have talked to Champ for a minute if I could have, but they're just busy. There's a lot going on before games on so many different levels. So you can't, I can't always do these kind of things that you would do because I'm busy working. I bet Snyder wish for that crowd we saw on TV, says Greg. Yeah, I wonder what Danny was doing yesterday. I mean, if he's in Europe, he's like off the coast of Madagascar or something, according to a website. I don't know. Was that 8 hours ahead, maybe? So who knows if he even watched? I don't know. I have a feeling he's not looking back. I liked how Rigo had the Redskins patch in his jacket. Yes, says Marcel. Yeah, that was pretty cool where he had all that. Rigo's his own man. Rigo told this team, "Do not sell my 44 with the Commanders on it." So I didn't play for the Commanders. Let's see, Bob. So if Mr. Harris is JK and the rest of the media staying at the team hotel again, I doubt it. We're on our own. In the old days, we would stay at the team hotel. We had to pay for our rooms, but it's because you had to pick up your press credentials and parking on Saturday night. Now it's all done digitally, so there's no need for that. But in the old days, you go to Tampa, you don't have to go find a team hotel, find the PR guy, and go back to your hotel. It's just easier to stay there. We did that for years, but we had to pay our own way. If I remember, I think the media got like the Redskins team discount, but that was all. What do I care? I didn't pay it. The newspaper paid for it. Tank's Airsoft channel. Okay. I hope next week we run more balanced offense and Gibby needs slide side to side more. Just felt like they knew we were passing and running. Yeah, I think they were a little bit ahead of it. Michael thinks Snider and his 6 billion are doing fine. Yeah, hopefully we took some capital gains taxes out of that. Yeah, I hope. I'd have to. So, um, interesting. There's this thing called. Let me look. Let's see what it is real quick. Where did I have it down? There was this website. You should go check this out. It's called Horton, Horton, barbell.com. And it talked about the guy measured every NFL quarterback, size, height and weight and all that kind of stuff. Just interesting. Um, like Sam is 6'1", I guess that's what he's reported as. 225. That's a lot of chicken tenders. But he just talked about. I mean, some of the guys like Trevor Lawrence are 6'6". So they're just talking about because one of the Arizona Cardinals have a video coming out about this thing tomorrow morning, where he says they're trying to flood some of the passing lanes and keep Sam from going outside because they were trying to block the lanes that he couldn't see because Sam's not the tallest quarterback. I thought true, but I've never heard anybody talk about Sam was too short. He's 6'1". Problem is your linemen are often 6'5" to 6'9". I mean, so it is a little hard to see over him. But I'd never heard a defender talk about that was a strategy against him. Johnny, I'm not sure. What did I think of the return of RG3? Yeah, another guy. I forgot RG3 brought his two kids on the field to, I guess, to enjoy the applause. And I thought he was. They pretty much chanted RG3 for him. It was a polite response. I thought the team using him as the primary in a commercial was a little tone deaf because there's a lot of fans that were not RG3 fans. I thought in all these years I've covered the team, and then I had a friend, the late Steve Buback, who covered the team 25 years before I did, for 25 years. And we both agreed that RG3 was the biggest thing ever that came to the Redskins. The crowds were just cheering and yelling. We'd be in Richmond for training camp, and for 3 hours, people would scream RG3. Like, you seen those old Beatles films where women would just scream to hysterics and pass out or something? That's what it was like to be at training camp that one summer, to where RG3 finally had to go to the crowd and say, "Stop it," because the other players are getting kind of jealous of all this mess. It was insane. And I'd never, his teammates were all behind him. Veterans don't usually rally behind high rookies like this as much. Um, and I'd never seen anything like it. And then by the time he left, I'd never seen anybody fall so far from grace to the bottom. Not all of it was Robert's fault. Some of it was Shanahan's fault, being a bullheaded guy too. But Robert's always talking about this team. I'm going to write a tell-all book. Oh no, I'm not. Hey, I'd like to come back and play. I don't know. I'd like to be part of the ownership group. Man, it's exhausting. Robert's a pretty good college analyst already. He should really focus on that stuff. I mean, just I get so tired of it. Aaron Rodgers just got hurt. What? I don't have the TV on. What is going on with that? I know they had a big storm hit that place a couple hours ago, and if somebody fill me in on what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, God, would that be unbelievable? That's why you don't want to mortgage everything. Any idea why Portis is still being treated like royalty when he had a felony conviction on insurance fraud, which he did? Well, he paid his price, Bob. He served his time, and America is about second chances. And if you served your time, said you're sorry, Clinton's not a bad guy. I remember him very well. I liked him. He made a mistake there. I'm sure some guys said, "Hey, come do this. We'll get everybody's doing it." It wasn't the smartest thing to do, and they all got caught and they all spent jail time and stuff. But after that, I think for us, the courts administered a punishment. He served it. So it's not like he murdered anybody. So I think it's okay, to just let it go, move on. Here's Jacob chanting RG3 already. All right. You should have did it in caps, though. Would have been funnier that way. Leave the comedy to professionals. Oh, my God. I've talked for 30 minutes. This is the most I've talked in over 2 weeks because of the illness. I couldn't even speak for more than a couple minutes of the videos. That was like my talking of the day. The wife loved it. I was quiet for 2 weeks. All right. Let's see if I have something else here. No. Okay. I was gonna have a visual aid, but it's not around. Okay. All right. Bringing a cart to the blue tent. What does that mean? Oh, okay. They're bringing the car. Are you kidding me? Let me turn on ESPN while we're doing this. I mean, it's 8:30. What do they do? Get hurt on the first series? All right, I'm gonna put on my I have a new office since I moved here last year. I'll put on a TV if I want. And the game is on what channel? I'm tired, man. I've been doing 36 hours of football. By now, I'm usually brain dead. Um, so, what station is the game on now? I forget. Is it ESPN? Come on, TV. Sometime today would be nice. Let's see. I have these new things you can talk to. ESPN. Is that right? Florida Fitzpatrick. Man, whenever I see Fitzpatrick on TV, I just get angry. You know, I mean, it's not his fault he got hurt, but it's still a pain. Um, great stuff. How did it improve as the game went on? Right, Jacob. Rogers took a dive. I don't know about that. Okay. Somebody come in my office and fix this TV for me. I can't tell what's going on. Um, ESPN. Nope. Not doing that. God, I hate new TVs. I feel like old people where you can't ever find out what's going on. Um, there it is. Okay. This will just be one of the things that God laughs at us if he's hurt. Ridiculous. On channel 7 also? Okay. An ankle break? Green and Rich Eisen are crying. Well, I mean, you talk about crying, be the Jets fans. I was just talking to a Jets fan yesterday. They were like, man, we might actually get, get to do something here. And I thought, yeah, oh my God, this would be ridiculous if this happens. Um, why does none of this work? No, it makes you feel older than technology, It used to work. Here we go. You see the look that he has and the window that he's going to hit right there is with Dix. All right. Okay, so at least have a game on so I can see what's going on there. This is wow, ridiculous. Well, I want to watch this game too when I get done with you guys. I want to see a little bit of this. I like Buffalo to me. This is a year Buffalo really needs to break out and try and do it. I think Kansas City's coming back a little bit. I know they lost their opener. Detroit, man, looked good. Everybody kind of wondered. You see where Detroit's coach today was talking about he drinks these two double shot mocha something or other coffee drinks in the morning that are equal to 10 Red Bulls. This dude's drinking 10 Red Bulls. His heart is going to explode. My God. I saw something where they were showing the Dunkin' Donuts, I don't know, one of them pumpkin spice, whatever, is equal to the calories of 17 donuts. And I don't do any of this stuff, and yet here I am, with a big scar on my chest and, all that. All right. Oh, he rolled an ankle, he thinks. Okay. Question. All right. Rolled ankles suck, though. They often say, in a way, you'd be better breaking your ankle than rolling it because you stretched all your tendons and it's not an easy fix or something like that. All right, Roy said, watch the game, but he really loved the energy there at FedEx. Yeah. I mean, it was an event. It was something to be seen. That was really good. Steve, yeah, I agree with Steve about Cincinnati. It's like Cincinnati. What happened to you guys? Cleveland kicked your butt. Okay, I went 10-5 on my picks last Saturday, and I have the Jets plus 2.5 in this game. For if you watch my show on Saturday mornings, beating the books, which right here on Rick Snider's Washington, um, and then you can, um, I sometimes I do well. First year I made some money, and the second year I gave it away. This year, hopefully, I do a little money. Um, if I lose a lot of them, I don't wear my shirt because I've lost my shirt to the bookmaker from there. So, yeah. Gregory asked me about the Josh Harris upgrades to the stadium. I didn't get to walk around a whole lot, but I will tell you one place that you would never see. From the tunnel, I have to walk up 2 flights of ramps to get to the press box, and public's not doesn't access that. And I walk up it, and I get to the second level, and I see basically you know, a washing, a truck that's like a washing machine, street cleaning machine. And I was like, looking down, I said, "Hey, somebody washed the ramps. They're clean." For the first time since this place opened in 1990, I was like, looking down, I said, "Hey, somebody washed the ramps. They're clean." For the first time since this place opened in 1997, I think it was black and grimy. This is something me and a few media people walk around, and that got washed, and some rails were fixed. It was impressive. And I thought, man, this if you had a checklist of 1,000 people things to do on this stadium, this was right at the bottom of that list, and that got done. There was a guy in front of the press box on a ladder like 30 minutes before the game, fixing something. I think with one of the TVs. I mean, sheesh, man. To the end, they were working their butts off. So good for them. I didn't get to see a lot of the rest of the place. I didn't wander too much through the concourses because they were so full you couldn't make much room on there. If you see me, make sure to say hi to me at the games. I laugh. I took 3 selfies yesterday. Paid $30. No way. I don't charge for selfies, but it always laughs when people say, "Can I take your picture?" I thought, really, of me? But as a tour guide, I also work as a tour guide. I took people around Saturday before the game. I've got another group coming in. So if you're coming to Washington a day early, want to see the town, reach out to me. I'm a professional tour guide of 13 years, and we go around and do stuff. But especially people like the China tours I've done from Chinese people, they want to take a picture of me, and I'm like, my picture's sitting on mantle all over Europe. Like I must be their great uncle from America or something. I don't know, but sure, if you want to take a picture of me, that's your problem. Okay. Um, how do I know it's broke? I don't know it's broke. I didn't say that making up anything. I'm just reading this, Ricky. So calm down. People love to jump us. I had so many angry people today. I just blocked. I'll block you. This is a free thing, and if you don't like it, don't watch. But to attack me, hey, I have thick skin, but I'll still block you. Let's see. Antoinette said the New York field is bad from yesterday. Game with Dallas plus the rain. Yeah, they had a bad rainstorm I saw before. So it is 3-0 Buffalo. So I can't believe this about Rodgers. Okay. That's why it's hard to invest in one guy because one guy can get hurt. So they're playing Denver. They're going to be at Denver. People were talking about it today. I hadn't heard this in quite a while, but the air is thin in Denver. I've been to Denver. I had family there for years. I've been there, I don't know, 10 times. The city itself, where the game is about 6,500 feet above sea level. Washington's about 10 feet above sea level, literally. I think it's like 40 feet high above sea level on Capitol Hill because I looked at it once in a while. Live Wire, thank you so much for contributing in. As others can see, you can throw in $5. You tip the monkey on the screen. It does help. Live didn't not sure what he learned from yesterday. I think it was more of a confirmation. I agree with you there. Um, that was more of a confirmation of what we feared or suspected. Um, okay, Ricky, I'm all right with you. We share a name, so I got to hang in there with you. We share a name with Rick Doc Walker. Back in training camp, somebody asked me, why is Doc, why is he named Doc? Rick Walker. No, people call him Rick. Friends of his will call him Rick. Not everybody calls him Doc. I think I do. But so I saw Doc on the sideline. I said, Doc, somebody asked me, wanted me to ask you, why do you have Doc? And he laughs at it, like, maybe he's been asked that a million times. But I said, what are you, the doctor of love or something? He says, Gibbs gave me that name. I'm like, really? He goes, Doc's a few years older than me. I said, Doc, when we were kids, there was two, three Rickies in every class. I always had another two or three in my class. Today, no one names their kid Rick. And he said, yeah, he says that same thing with me. He says, so Gibbs decided we had three Ricks on the team. So one was like, I think it was Ricky Sanders, called him Ricky. Forget who the other Rick was. And he just called me Doc. He says, I don't know why, but okay. And that's how he became Doc. So, yeah, something. It's just weird how those things happen. Do I think that Josh adds his seats back with continuing upgrades? Asked Roy. Yeah, people will buy them. They will. Why not? But you don't want to invest too much. Say it's 5 years from now, and they think they're 2 years from a new stadium. Probably not. But we'll see how many people come back for the Buffalo game, and then a few weeks later, about 10 days later, they're playing Chicago on a Thursday night. That's the one I want to see the attendance. How many people come on a Thursday night? It's a work night. I mean, the weather will be okay, I guess, but it's the same as last year. It's one day different than last year's Thursday night game at Chicago. This year, it's here. That's the game we'll see how many fans really come to. That'll be interesting. I don't think there'll be a lot of Bear fans so much there. Internet. I think Ron told EB to dial back on the passing and run the ball more. I think might have been a conversation about that. Michael says Rich Malott. I'm not sure what that's about, but okay. Over there. Hey, that's not Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback. In fact, who is this? I'm just trying to look. Love the green helmets of the Jets. I'm not a uniform guy, but I like colors, like everybody else. I thought yesterday white on white wasn't for me. All right. Watch this guy throw a touch. It's the Jordan. The Packers quarterback after Aaron. He's got the new Jordan Love back and played well. So Packers were probably smart to do what they did. Hey, everybody, Favre didn't leave easily when Aaron Rodgers replaced him. So Aaron's just getting the other end of that deal now. Share 606 sees light at the end of the tunnel. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure where they'll finish on the schedule this year, but things are getting better. And, if they don't do great this year, then they're going to have new coaching, going to have a first round quarterback and all that kind of stuff. And here we go, rebuilding again. But at least there's a plan. There's some vision. There's some stuff going forward. There's not all this, bad blood going on through the building. There's not the media writing all these mean stories that we got to write. Listen, I look forward to just writing about football this year. That would be kind of fun. I get tired of writing about all this stuff too. I'd rather just write. I covered Super Bowl teams. They were a lot of fun. Everybody was happy. Everybody read you. It was a lot of fun. Versus all the crap and everybody just ugh. So here I am instead of at a newspaper on YouTube, among all the things. Where do you get the whole story? People always ask, why do I always say the first thing on my videos? Because the algorithm kind of demands it, where I say, please, subscribe, share, comment, thing. The algorithm's listening. Big Brother sends me people because I follow what Big Brother would like me to do. So, the analytics stuff. What are we in? We got 15 minutes to go. Okay. Hit the thumbs up button if nothing else. It's way up there. But hit the thumbs up button. It makes the algorithm happy. If it's happy, it sends me people that have not seen me before. DMV Bay. Do I believe EB needs to have SH do more rollouts due to the weak OL? Maybe. I think you try to identify. I think quick strikes are more than the rollouts. But I'll say this: I think Sam Howell's best plays are often unscripted, where he finds people, in the wins, and that's where he tends to do some damage to teams. So that's not a bad thing. He just got to learn to protect himself and not get whacked on the sideline by a freight train coming by, because those headhunters will come get you. And if they have to pay for 15 extra yards, they sometimes thinks it's worth it. I think if you can knock out another quarterback out of the game, 15 yards, you do it. People do it. So, okay. since we changed the crowd on this thing like 3, 4 times during the whole show, more people watch the show after it's live. So if you're one of those, hey, or if you want to, if you missed the earlier part of the show, you can YouTube will archive this a few minutes after we're done, and then you can watch the whole thing again. You can go to the beginning, skip through, or whatever you want to do on that. So about 500 people or so will watch the show, which we appreciate. And if they win more, maybe more of you are watching. I don't know. But if you can hit the thanks button, which is that dollar sign below us, it does help me pay for my time and gives you unique access to things. And if you don't want to, well, cheap tightwad. What can I tell you? You can use my service for free and not pay for it. And I just think that's great. But at least hit the thumbs up button to help the, if nothing else. Otherwise, you're just a mooch. That's how it goes. And if you don't want to watch, well, whatever. Um, hate to sound mean like that. It's just the truth of how this works now. I didn't want to have a paid website or any of that stuff. I just thought this would be easier, but it requires people to be generous once in a while too. Sometimes we do shows where I just have all the money goes to charity, especially around Thanksgiving and the holidays. We do, food banks and presents for kids, and I do that stuff then. But right now, September is about Rick trying to make some money. Just an old pensioner here. DMV Bay was quad hurt yesterday. Well, they did evaluate him for a concussion, but he was cleared. So I guess he's probably got a headache, but other than that, I think he's okay. Um, Michael thinks Sam needs to have a faster mental clock. I agree. He's trying to make everything happen. You got to go first two reads, make a decision, go, and he'll get better at that. I mean, we forget the dude. This is his second game, so he did well. This stuff will come better to them. Is Chase going to play Sunday? Antoinette asked. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say for absolute sure, but I don't think so. So I think at least another week. Why? I'm not positive. Nobody wants to say. Everything's always a mystery with Chase and medical stuff and all. I never know what to do. But always we're waiting on a doctor. It means whatever. We're all waiting on doctors. I had to take my wife to one of these clinics. Not feeling well, and we had to wait 3 hours, and 2 hours of that was before anybody even talked to us. Why? We all know how that goes. Let's see. Young is all hyped up, man. I mean, I don't know. Young's going to be. Yeah. Oh, here's the Jets coach is on. Man, the Jets coach. I read a thing today about where his brother was in the towers on 9/11, and luckily didn't get killed, but it made the Jets coach realize life is short. He quit his 9 to 5 job, went for a job that he loved, and here he is coaching in New York on 9/11 as the head coach of the Jets. Wow, that's a great story on there. Always love the people. One thing I like about being around athletes, they're very high achievers. They push themselves to get there, else they wouldn't be there. You don't walk into the NFL free. So, in any capacity around the league, writing about it, even, they just don't hand out, NFL press passes to people as part of your college diploma. You got to earn the right to be here. Michael says if Young has to play by week 4, someone needs to explain why he wasn't on the IR. Correct. Well, supposedly doctors passed him, so supposedly he can come play if the team was just like, well, he hasn't hit anybody in a few weeks. We want to make sure that hit somebody in practice and make sure your neck's really okay. I don't want to say anything about it's just a neck. Well, the neck's next to your spine, and your spine controls your body, and I don't want anybody getting hurt. So if you have to be cautious, and I'm sure doctors they'll always tell you to be cautious. Yeah, take extra time. What do they care? So you got to err on the side of caution. It's just unfortunate. I'm sure it's frustrating for everybody, including you guys. You want to see him. You want to see him go out there and ball and be the second overall pick. And show what he can do. I mean, when Chase is good, he's something special to watch. And I thought in training camp he came back and looked pretty good. I liked a lot of his initial burst, but we didn't because of the rules of things. We really didn't get to see hitting much, so didn't really. And he got hurt early in camp, so I haven't really got to see can he get past the defender blocking him yet. That's what we want to see. A team needs to see that, or else they're going to sign him next year. So, all right, we got 10 minutes to go. So let me just I'll look at Aaron Rodgers later on this. All right, so let's see. Well, we're in the routine now. So Tuesday, team's off. That's their day off for the week. A lot of players will come in for treatment or watch film, but not everything. It's your day off. So some players, and a lot of them do charity work. They do a ton of charity work on Tuesdays. Uh, they go visit places and people. So you know, a lot of these guys give selflessly of their time, man. It's just people they don't get enough credit for what they do, and they do a lot. And all the pro teams do in town. The Nats and the Caps and Wiz and all they do a lot of charity work. So yes, they make a lot of money, and that's great. But they're also human beings. All right. Got any questions here? We got a few minutes to go. Anybody want to throw dollars at me? You just hit that thanks button. We're good there. Or hit the thumbs up button or 32 thumbs up. Thank you. It makes the algorithm happy. And if it's happy, sends people to me. This is my almost finishing my third year up doing this. And almost 15 million people have watched. 15 million people. I get stopped all the time now. It's crazy. Steve asked, when's the season of Discontent up? I think he said we already filmed it earlier. So my partner Matt was just formulating it up, and he said he would have it up probably right after my live chat ended at 9. So I would think it'd be up very soon. And we do the Seasons of Discontent now. It's also on Twitter. The whole thing's there, but watch it on YouTube. And we talk about all things Washington sports. And Matt's an old friend of mine, so we just talk about stuff. I'm not. There's so many different people in the media that do so many different things that I don't feel the need to have to sit here and go, okay, let's show the screen here where the tight end moves over to the thing. You've got plenty of people to talk about that. I can tell you the stories of what's going on, or the news, or things like that. So that's why I choose a different path. Why would you want to watch the same guy telling you the same things four other guys do? That's why I never shot a short video in practice, because there's already 5 guys doing that. So I try to concentrate, stay in my lane, do what I do. If Washington has a winning record by the Bears game, you think the stadium will sell out? I don't know, Antoinette, because that's Thursday night. So, and I don't think there'll be a lot of Chicago fans coming. I don't know. Washington's such a transient town that there's often fans of visiting teams of people who live here now. And the Bears are a premier franchise. But I think Washington, the next 4 games, I think they could split it. I think they beat Denver. I had already picked it ahead. I got them beating Denver. But, Buffalo, I don't think they'll keep up with. And Philly, that's the hard game to tell. So they'll at least be 2-2 or 3-1 for the Bears game, I think. And they'll beat the Bears, I would think. So tough schedule this year. The weird part, too, is they almost always are home road, just alternating every week. Washington's one of the few national teams. That's true. The traveling alien. Yeah, and a lot of them. I mean, just for me on Twitter, I have a couple hundred people throughout the UK alone who follow me. They never do. They always complain they can't come on the live chat because it's, I think, 5 hours ahead this time of year in London. So it's getting ready to be 2 a.m. in London. And if you're in London right now, good for you, and watching this, well, thanks. I'm hoping to go to London next year, and we're going to have a tavern meetup, or whatever we call it, a pub meetup. And I'll get to drink 1,000 gallons of beer free, and my wife will hate me for it. And we talked about it the other day. She goes, "What am I going to do?" I don't know. Come with me. Lead me back to the hotel. I already know where we're going to do it, near Victoria Station, because I have a hotel right by Victoria Station I stay at, and there's a awesome little pub like 2 blocks away that I ate at last year and drank. And it's a great place. We're going to do it there. I'd love to go to see a Premier League darts match too, because man, you never seen a bunch of drunken fools as you have at that. Watching guys throw darts. I thought that was amazing. Steve thinks the Bears game might be as ugly as the one last year. Hey man, winning's never ugly. Okay, losing's ugly. Losing's never pretty. So why should winning be never ugly? Let's see. Robbie says Sam needs more time. Absolutely, and those deep ones. I mean, yeah, there was a couple balls I saw yesterday. I got there's that play I've seen him practice 10 times, and he hits that shot. It was a pass interference call on it, so it didn't get completed, but it was pretty impressive on everything. All right, so hopefully on Mondays after the game, if everything works out, well, after games on Sunday, I'll do this live chat on Monday. Seasons of Discontent podcast will come out tonight and Thursday. So we do two 15-minute shows instead of some long one that no one listens to. Greg says maybe the Commanders have a London game coming. Yeah, I mean, London's going to have a team in the next few years. Whatever year it is, I'm not sure, but London will have. They're talking about London having two teams, and you say, how's that possible? Because it's like twice the size of New York City, which has two teams. So they were thinking about putting two in the London area, one in Germany, and the other one I'm not positive yet. Maybe Spain, but we're going to hear more about that. I think I don't know. I think within 2 years they announce it. Wouldn't surprise me. The London team will have a better name than Commander, says Michael, with the Royals. And maybe this team doesn't have Commanders by then. It will not be the Redskins, but we'll see. I mean, what was the Scottish Claymores were the NFL Europe team, the Claymores. That's like a landmine that you step on, but it sounds better like that. I remember one time Washington had fans come from Scotland, and they came after 5 o'clock, and there was about a dozen of them. And people had gone for the day, and the PR guy came and grabbed me. He says, "Please come talk to these people for a few minutes. They come this far, they want to see things." And things were, this was before Snider. So I took them in the lobby. They could see the Super Bowl trophies. I've given them the tour, and talking about the team and all that, just to help out, because you feel bad for those guys. It's like, wow, you missed seeing the other stuff. I don't know. Play more with the sword. I thought it was one of his minds. All right, shows what I know. Anyway, so those kind of things happen. Bob might remember that. I don't know if you remember me doing that or not. It was around then when you were around. So we do. I spoke to many groups over the time just to help out and let the people hear something. Kind of like what we're doing right now. They would ask questions. All right, minute till 9, so I'm wrapping up because I pushed my voice to the limit today. But I do appreciate everybody coming. We had a good sized crowd tonight. And I do appreciate all of you guys who do it. Appreciate everybody who contributed to the Save Rick from Starvation Fund. So far we're winning. You can tell there. All right, so Clint's backing me. It was a sword, and then it's a mine. Okay, I was right about this. I knew a lot about military stuff, but whatever. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody coming, and the morning videos and the evening videos. A lot of people are watching lately because things are good on that. So, Steve, thank you so much for coming. You always stay the whole time. So I do appreciate that. And we'll have to I'll go see what happened to Aaron Rodgers next on this. Robbie, thank you so much for coming too. I think Dan was rooting for the team of the Cards. I don't think Dan's looking back. Never give up. Mike, thank you so much for coming too. I feel like we're in the romper room where I say goodbye to everybody on this. But I do appreciate everyone coming. And we'll do it again next Monday through the season. Pretty much. Maybe the week they do a Thursday game, maybe we do it the day after or something. Thanks, Bob, for coming. Antoinette, we got to meet one day. I don't know if you live in Washington area. Maybe we'll meet for a game. I've had people ask me about meeting at the game. I think I'm going to try and do something outside of the Hall of Fame store just to stand around and say hi to people, because I don't know. Unless you're hanging out in Southern Maryland, I don't know how you're going to find me too much. But people do. People come up all the time. It's really weird. I've been in the news biz 45 years, but the show may be a household name, whatever. So, all right. So we're out of here. Thank you all for coming. I will see you again next Monday. And then don't forget, watch the videos during the week. Bye, everybody.